Good morning and welcome to the Meltdown. Folks, I apologize. Things have been very busy. I've got clients that are calling, coming in, visiting, talking about reallocation of assets. I'm going to share some very serious facts, and we're going to make sure that you understand that the reason that I stay focused in precious metals and rare coins is moreover the fact that so many people are getting caught up in the paper market, the equities, the stock market, the S&P 500. Maybe you're in the NASDAQ. Maybe you're going short and you're trying to follow the big boys. I have so many people that go into a market to be day traders. And of course, a day trader is only taking good information, trying to time a market, make what you want to make, whether that's $500 or $5,000 or $5 million. The Chinese have gone out and warned people about Bitcoin. I mentioned this yesterday on air, not even having the knowledge that the Chinese were involved. This morning, Ron Paul's getting involved, and Bitcoin could truly bring down the U.S. economy, in his opinion. It could destroy the dollar. Now, there are so many different opinions about how to move and what to move and how to do it and how to prepare yourself. And I'm talking about the honest approach as to how you should move forward. Now, this is pretty simple stuff. And when you talk about somebody like a Ron Paul getting involved in the market, you need to understand that Mr. Paul tried while he was serving the Southern District of Texas to get an audit of Fort Knox, to make sure and be very clear that the gold that's supposedly stashed down in the 10 or 12 vault rooms that have been represented really are there. I worry about Bitcoin because they bypass the banking system. And the dollar, as weak as it is already, faces even more turmoil when you talk about the value of cyber money versus a real economy. And frankly, that's my concern, is that quantitative easing that has been utilized certainly over decades and hundreds of years is really going to create a major problem. I worry about people like a George Soros or a Carl Icahn, John Paulson, guys that are capable of moving money in a matter of moments. Heck, you can do it from your smartphone now. And so when I share factual information like the potential of the raping of your pension plan, what happened in Detroit is going to happen to the Illinois state, the state of Illinois, their pension plan. It's going to happen all over the world, all over the United States for sure, because when you get right down to it, the right-wing conspiracy theorists of the 60s, 70s, and 80s, the guys who tried to gloom and doom you into buying rare coins or precious metals, to take leveraged positions, not understanding the depth and the manipulation of trillions of dollars. That's why you do this. Because everything that's taking place has been in a deflationary spiral, something that I've been talking about since the late 90s. Now, it is true and it is important to understand that the things that I'm looking for are the consistent numbers. Yesterday, gold had a great day. Today it looks like it's having a bad day, down about 20 bucks. Silver, which had a fabulous run, is given back 30 cents. And in the big picture, I want you to understand that somewhere between 1% down and 0.5% doesn't equate to enough money unless you're the day trader. And my point in bringing it up is that day traders don't take physical delivery of anything. There was another record art sale up in New York last night, a little over $40 million for one piece of art. And I had this conversation yesterday with a couple of my customers. And folks, it's important that you analyze the facts. I'm talking about an engineer who's semi-retired, who we discussed the oil situation. And I got to tell you, over the last week or so, the price of West Texas Intermediate has jumped back over $97, about to be $98. Okay, and if you look at what's really going on, the Nikkei was down 2%. Close. 230 points against 177 would have been 300, so maybe 1.5% is more accurate. The dollar's given back some of its lead, and currencies are all up with the exception of the Chinese currency, the yuan, and the British pound. And I'm bringing all of this and stating it the way I am so that you understand that paper is paper. Real gold matters. And you know how you know? You know because the Chinese are trying to get out of dollars. They're trying to replace the US dollar as the world reserve currency. And the only way they can do it is to show that they've got value. That's why they're accumulating. They are net buyers of gold. Over 130 tons just this year coming out of Hong Kong into China. This isn't gloom and doom. It's reality. And I've talked about my customer Dan that back in June or July was down in Santiago, Chile. And the reason he was in Chile is very understanding. He spent $1,600 plus airfare and accommodations to sit through a 3-day intense investment seminar. 400 attendees. They blocked out the hotel and they booked it for 4 days, even though the speakers were only there for 3. And there were representatives of trust companies around the world, from Mongolia to Russia to the UK, to sit and explain to sophisticated investors that what they wanted to help provide was protection from the US government, protection from the US dollar, but not to hide anything because they're all going to provide the proper disclosure to the Internal Revenue Service. Of the 400 attendees, nearly 70% of them are almost 100% invested in gold. That's got to tell you something. Now, Warren Buffett invests in banks and paper and Berkshire Hathaway, and that's all paper market, folks. Why is the stock worth over $100,000 a share? Because of Warren Buffett. Because of the companies that he's acquired and how he's built his house of cards to have a firm foundation. So that's what I want to talk about. You build a firm foundation because you diversify your portfolio. And whether you're moving $100 or $100 million, whether you're doing it for your family, whether you're doing it for your trust, whether you're doing it for your business, maybe you're in somebody else's business. You're an employee, you're an accountant, you're the money manager. I've got a very good friend who is a major player in the engineering world. He's, I want to say now, an assistant vice president, or maybe he's not an officer, but he controls a lot of people. And this company manufactures around the world. And in their office, they have one entire floor of staff that is dealing in the currency markets because they're dealing in billions of dollar contracts where something may be assembled in one part of the world, sold to somebody in another part, and those currency trades are not US dollars. Trillions of dollars flow through the markets daily. And so I don't want you to think that I'm too small or too big for the little guy and not too little for the big guy. I want to be able to help people on a massive scale. So whether you're looking at moving 5% or 40% of your net worth, I know financial planners and money managers, their clients have come in and said, Brett, we need to put 20% of our money into gold. Gold doesn't offer the same upside. In other words, from the 1,230 mark, that's the spot price. If you're trying to buy physical gold, you're going to spend somewhere in the neighborhood of, call it $1,285 to $1,325 for simple common bullion material, because there's a premium to produce it, to store it, to ship it, however you want to handle your transactions. What I can tell you first and foremost is that you start by building the foundation with inexpensive, low premium material. Items that are going to fluctuate from 5 to 30% over the melt value, the spot market. The physical market is different. If you want to trade in paper and you want to own gold, silver, platinum, or palladium as tight to the spread as you can, you get into a futures contract. In the form of gold, you're going to start at 10 ounces minimum up to 100-ounce contracts. And the CFTC, the CME, the commodities people that monitor and help get those trades are going to monitor what's going on. And they monitor the brokers, the bankers, all of it. Problem is that in the futures market, the market is overcommitted by 50 to 1. That's a fact that I mentioned about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and so it's still true. I like physical because I own it. I've got it. It's not paper. It's not going to be as manipulated because there's a premium value. It's in my hand. I've seen the premium on an overnight transaction with no manipulation of the value of the spot market. And I've seen physical metal move 11 to 30 percentage points. That's from gold eagles to junk bags of silver, because bags and gold matter. They matter to the central banking system. So I'm talking what may seem like big numbers, but everything is pertinent. I love $20 gold pieces, and I love $20 gold pieces that have some rarity, where you're going to spend between $2,000 and $5,000 an ounce. And the reason I like those numbers is that whether you listen to Ron Paul or Jim Rogers, this past summer they made it very clear that gold will be $3,000 to $5,000 an ounce. The problem is I can't tell you what the currency is going to be. And whether you listen to H.W. Bush, number 41, or his son, or any of the economists around the world, what I can tell you their biggest concern is what's the value going to be and how are they going to redenominate their currency. If there's a one world unit, which is something that has been discussed by everyone from the Trilateral Commission, which is pretty much conspiracy theory, all the way to the right. Even the left side now believes. That's why you're seeing record prices for art. $40 million for a painting isn't something that someone's going to take off the wall to go barter for food. But what if you had to make your mortgage payment for a year? What if somebody had to evaluate and appraise those items? That's why you're seeing the kinds of record prices. And so I'm going to come back around to my comment. Buy $20 gold pieces from anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000 an ounce. Buy the rarity. And I'll get to that part. But when you're establishing the value of a portfolio and you say, Brett, I'm only going to move 5, maybe 20% of my net worth. You invert the pyramid. You go to a level where the least premium is the foundation. The second third, those are going to be coins that carry a premium over their melt value, but that doesn't mean you're paying over their basal value. And so what I mean by that is that a non-certified Carson City Morgan silver dollar that's uncirculated is worth in the neighborhood of $175 to $250. That's the bottom of the level. If they're uncirculated, you take a coin like that and you may own it tighter to the spread than a silver American Eagle that's trading at a 25% premium over the silver content. You want to buy 500 coins? No problem. I'll quote you. I'll give you the number. Right now you're going to be in the $24.65 neighborhood. I sold some yesterday for $24.75. That's the 20 cents covers the 30-cent drop that this client paid me yesterday. That's how tight I want to work on the spread. So you own coins in the second third that are semi-numismatic. You've got to own different types of coins because Ronald Reagan signed the law authorizing the Treasury to begin making gold and silver coins, two separate bills, two separate laws. And then another law was passed to allow the U.S. Mint to produce platinum coins. And so you can get American gold, silver, or platinum, and you can put it in an IRA if you'd like. You can hold it. I'll make the physical delivery of the product. But you own material that carries a premium because the premium doesn't disappear. Folks, when real inflation finally shows up and we quit playing this mouse game or the shell game where we hide it all, you got to remember Alan Greenspan, when he was the Federal Reserve president, was considered to be one of the smartest guys in the market. He testified 4 years ago after he was out of term and Ben Bernanke had already established his foothold as our Fed chairman. Alan Greenspan went on Capitol Hill and told Congress that his theories of finance and formulas and everything he was trying to do didn't work. It was wrong. He made a mistake. You know what? He wasn't held liable. They didn't go after his blind trust. Only the good Lord knows how much money is in there. Although it's a blind trust, so the trust company knows. And so the hundreds of millions and billions of dollars that get made and lost every day, I just want you to protect some of your money. I want you to be able to reach into the safe, and whether silver is $65 an ounce or $600 an ounce, if there's really going to be so much inflation that the dollar's doomed, that we're going to rely on Chinese currency or a one world unit, you better have something tangible to barter with, and Bitcoin is not the answer. Not when the Chinese, not when Ron Paul, not when the world is worried about what the cyber value of currency is that doesn't even go through the banking system. Sounds like a great way to launder money, if you want to be honest. Folks, there are transactions that will occur through my register. There are transactions that are going to have checks or wires written. Don't hide or lie. That's not going to be a blessing to anybody. And so what I really want to hit home and what I really want to stipulate is that there's enough material out there to be able to be real with people and assist you all in doing the things that need to be done. How do you protect yourself in an economy, in a world where, it's like I read, 2 million passwords were stolen online, and some of the sites that got hacked were Facebook and Yahoo and LinkedIn and Twitter and Google. So you should be changing passwords again. Of course, the problem is you don't know how long it's going to be until something really happens, until you get hacked, and it's just a horrible situation. Own your gold, put it in your safe, put it in the ground, put it in a survival tube, pack it in a vacuum sealed bag. Own $20 gold pieces. Folks, there was a gentleman who just paid $1.5 million for a quarter. 1796, mint state 67 plus. It's probably the single finest known specimen to exist. Guy who bought it back in, I want to say, the 30s or 40s paid $100. 1.5 million is what it auctioned for. And it's not the last serious value item that's going to sell. So buy $20 gold pieces, buy them from 1850 all the way through the 1930s. 1932 is the last legal year of circulated $20 gold pieces. But there's other types of coins, and you may go online and you can look or come into a store, my store, go to a bookshop, get an older red book. You're going to spend a few dollars for it. In my store, the brand new one is $12.95. I've seen them online at 14 or 15 bucks. And ultimately, you read through the history, you look at the coins, you come up with a strategy, you look at see what values are. The values in a red book are 6 months old. Today, you're pushing almost a year old because the information is accumulated so it can be inputted so that they can go to press and begin delivering in April. So what I'm telling you is the 2014 is on the shelves. It's been on the shelf over 6 months. The 2015s will be here in April. So you find the coins that you like, you build the portfolio, you come in and discuss it. I love $20 gold pieces, specifically the ones from 1866 to 1876. They're called Type 2s. And I've got some of them here in the store. They're going to range from $3,000 to you can't imagine how much money you could spend if you choose. Don't get caught up in auctions because you don't know what the particulars are. Yes, you look at a coin and it's graded by NGC or PCGS, and that will assist you to a certain extent. But you can look at two different coins that are graded, same company, same denomination, same quality on the holder. And you know what? You could see one for $200 and see another one for $2,000. And believe it or not, the one that's $2,000 could be worth more money. If you don't know that, you're going to go buy the $200 coin, and you may still be overpaying for a coin. But you looked at the one that was 2,000 and you figured for a tenth of the money, you would make a good deal. So from my perspective, my interest, my concern, the things that I'm looking for, those are all situations that assist us in making the conclusions that we all need to make. We need to know the right choices. We need to understand the options and the reasons. We need to have a basic understanding of economics. And, I'm not going to go deep into the trillions of dollars of juggling that we see going on. But ultimately, my biggest concern is that Bitcoin is under attack. And the stock value, it's going to take a hit. And all things that go up go down, and all things that go down go up. That's the hysteria of a market. And so, from my perspective, I want to look at the knowledge and the information, and I want to make a real good decision. I want my clients to make good decisions. I want some rarity in a portfolio. If you've got the ability to be diversified enough that you can spend tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars on a single specimen, then your net worth is something that you want to protect for the long haul. And let's face it, things are going to get worse before they get better, because Ben Bernanke and Tim Geithner said so. They did it last year. And sure enough, because of the sequester, because of the failure of the government to perform for 16 days, we saw lackadaisical numbers that today sound really good. But what I'm really telling you is that there's so much juggling going on, whether it's a small business owner or a huge corporate concern. Things are being manipulated all the time. You better have some good information. Good information isn't illegal. Good information allows you to make sophisticated, clear, concise, and logical decisions about how you move forward. I love older U.S. numismatics. I love newer coins. I love coins in mint state 69. I love coins in mint state 70. So I do love new coins. And they do fit a parameter of a portfolio. They absolutely do. My biggest concern is going forward. And how do you diversify your holdings in such a fashion that you can build a portfolio with some gold, silver, and platinum, own some coins, build some sets, own some semi-numismatic coins. Folks, when I look up the value of a wholesale coin, if it's worth $300 wholesale, and you pay $320 to $350, the dealer's entitled to make a profit. Whether it's advertising, payroll, rent, the things that are necessary to function a business, business has to function, pure and simple. And ultimately, what I want to be able to say is that building a portfolio, looking at coins, whether they trade for tens of thousands of dollars an ounce, whether that's in silver or gold, it is part of the diversification that you're looking to protect your money. And I've said this about a certain client for probably a year now. He gave me originally $80,000. And some of the coins, 5 of them I believe, were 1991 half-ounce gold American Eagles that graded between mint state 65 and mint state 68 or 69. The client who had owned them for $320 to $370 was the most expensive one. They resold for between $2,700 and $3,000. And yesterday I sold a coin to a client. The most expensive 2004 in a PCGS Mint State 69 holder that I could find was on one of the online auction companies. One guy wanted over $2,000 for his. And then there was one for $995, and then there was one for $895, and I sold mine to this client for $850. I made a profit. I was happy with it. I showed the client what I was looking at and why I was charging him what I was, and he was thrilled. And so what I'm going to tell you is that in 1991, if you want a business strike, mint state coin, not the proof, they're not out there. They're rare coins. Only 24,100 of them were minted. And of that, only 10% supposedly have survived in mint state 65 plus condition. That's Gem BU. If you could find a mint state 70, the coin is probably worth a minimum of 10 to 20,000. It would be a perfect coin. They do exist. There are a couple. But folks, what I'm really telling you is that yesterday I was searching for mint state 1991 half ounce, $25, the denomination, the half ounce gold American Eagle. They're not out there. And folks, that's what I really want to tell you. There's a way to build a portfolio with nice, common, generic stuff. It's the barter material. And then you can own the second third that's still going to trade at a premium over its melt value, but its basal value supports the market. More importantly, when gold and silver respond to the deflation, quote, inflation, the 10-year bond is getting hammered, folks. The 10-year is back over 2.8%. That's a problem. 2.86 is the current quote. The 30-year is even higher. We're approaching 4%. And housing sales may be looking stronger, but you know what? Interest rates are going up. And you're going to pay it in the form of your mortgage. The price of oil, West Texas Intermediate, is approaching $98 a barrel. You've seen the price of gasoline go from the 270s to over $3 again, depending on where you stop, 305, 315. Depends if you put super unleaded in your car or not. I'm going with not. Things change. And the NASDAQ at 4,000, this S&P back below 1,800 may mean that according to the crest cycle, maybe we've already topped out. Maybe we've hit the top. The question is, how low is the bottom? How much of your wealth are you prepared to lose? Anyway, if you have any questions, you can call me anytime. Please jot down my phone number. It's 281-548-2646. That's 281-548-2646. If you're outside of the Houston market, 877-705-2646. Hit option 0 and you will avoid getting trapped in the phone system. Now you can email me anytime. That's Brett, B-R-E-T-T, at thegoldexchange.net. You can visit themeltdown.com. There's links pages. There are over 500 shows archived on the site. In excess of 360 hours of edited material. The commercials have been removed from the radio shows when I started at a CBS affiliate to Salem Network to now doing podcasts. Email me, call me, let me help you. I won't be working much over this weekend. It's an opportunity to visit with my son Jason. I want to thank any and all of you that have been praying for the situation that I've been dealing with. That God is in control of everything, and certainly He is in control of the destiny of my son and myself and my family. I appreciate everybody who's keeping us in prayer. Folks, I never try to get off air without mentioning Texas Children's Hospital, the Downs Clinic, and the Ronald McDonald House. As we enter the Christmas season, 500 children will be admitted just into TCH. So whatever your hospital of preference in the medical center, if you're here in Houston, everyone's raising money for the kids. But Texas Children's is very special to me. My son has very mild Downs. The Downs Clinic, the Meyer Center, is run by Catherine Ostermeyer, Katie as she goes by. Got an email from her yesterday. I haven't ever had her refer to herself as Katie, but I appreciate her thoughts and prayers. If you're looking to make a tithe or an offering, please go to themeltdown.com, click on the banner, your name, your information, the amount of money you'd like to donate in a tithe or an offering. You'll get a receipt for your contribution. The information is all anonymous, and I don't get any of it. But the Meyer Center is very important, as is the Ronald McDonald House at Texas Children's. It's located on the 4th floor. 20 rooms, accommodates a couple of people each room per night. And if you can provide a hot meal or you're looking for somebody to donate to, please consider the Ronald McDonald House. You can call them directly. That's 832-824-8600, 832-824-8600. I appreciate the doctors, the nurses, the staff, and the volunteers at Texas Children's throughout the medical center and throughout the world. These children rely on us And so we have to be strong for them. I appreciate you listening. I hope that I'll be back this afternoon. Sorry for being emotional with you. I just love the kids. Stay warm. The weather's about to change as we approach noon to 2 o'clock today. Wrap your plants. Make sure your animals are inside and you take good care of them. God bless you, folks. I hope I can assist you soon. Have a great day. I'll be back this afternoon, I hope. Thanks. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.